Hi Year 7, Mr Wilson here. Today we're going to look at some elements, compounds and mixtures. We've got three things to show you. I'm going to come up close to the camera. First, I've got some iron. This is a metal element. It's found on the left side of the periodic table. It's made of just one type of atom, that's iron atoms. What's special about iron is that it's magnetic. If I take a magnet, which attracts some types of atom, here we go, the iron will stick to the magnet. I can move the iron around. Isn't that cool? Next, I've got some sulfur. Sulfur is a non-metal element. It's on the right-hand side of the periodic table. Sulfur is an element because it's just made of sulfur atoms. Sulfur isn't magnetic. My magnet doesn't do anything to the sulfur. So I've got two elements. Here I've got a mixture. This is a mixture of the iron and the sulfur. It's two elements, but they're not chemically joined together. I can show that they're not chemically joined together because I can easily pull them apart. If I put the magnet, we can see the grey iron start to come out. Look at this. I can easily pull the iron away from the sulfur using the magnet because it's not all chemically joined together. That's a mixture. It's two elements and they're not chemically joined together. Look at that, all mixed together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up my mixture. I've got my Bunsen burner very hot. I'm going to put my mixture in. When I make it very, very hot, the iron and the sulfur will have a chemical reaction. They are the reactants of the chemical reaction. The atoms are going to chemically join and make iron sulfide. That will be the product of the chemical reaction. Iron sulfide is a compound because it's two different types of atom, iron and sulfur, that have chemically joined. We know that iron sulfide is a compound because it's got "ide" at the end of it, IDE in its name. And it's iron sulfide because sulfur is further to the right, so when it makes a compound, sulfur becomes sulfide with "ide" at the end. In this reaction, it's getting very hot and the atoms are chemically joining. I can see it's glowing red. I hope you can see that as well, my bright red glowing mixture in my test tube. I'm going to do it for a little bit longer so that atoms can chemically join. And that has finished glowing red now, so it must have finished reacting. I'll put my Bunsen back to my safe yellow flame that I can see. I'm going to put this down to cool. What I can show you is some iron sulfide that I made earlier. There are some pieces of iron sulfide. I hope you can see it's all stuck together because all the atoms have chemically joined. If I take a piece of iron sulfide and I take my magnet, I can't get the iron and the sulfur to separate anymore. The iron will not come away from the sulfur because the atoms have chemically joined. When I did it to the mixture of iron and sulfur, I could pull them apart, but because it's a compound, I can't anymore. I think that's a very good experiment for explaining two elements, iron and sulfur, a mixture of the iron and sulfur, and iron sulfide, which is a compound made of the two. I hope that made sense.